I was just making coffee, cruising around my house, thinking had all the time in the world.
No worries. We're just hanging out. Got my big fat dog next to me. Wife's eating breakfast. Hanging out, chilling.
Do you normally work on Fridays?
Just for a little bit. I closed the deli in the afternoon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good to have you.
It's fun. Thank you.
How was doing the show? I never really, we talked a little bit about it, but how was doing the show?
It was the background of your podcast, like the behind the scenes of your podcast is so much larger than like ours is. So
You mean all the chaos, like with the banners and all that stuff?
yeah. Yeah. It was super cool to see though. Like it was great. Like, oh, this is how you do this.
It's all Will's fault. Will Branstedter's fault.
Uh,
I know we have all of these. It's funny what yeah, it's crazy back here.
Yeah.
Are you liking StreamYard? Would you recommend StreamYard to someone?
I like it. I mean,
You
I think
do?
it's user friendly.
Yeah.
Especially
Go ahead, sorry.
just because we didn't know what we were doing. So when we first started trying to figure out all the buttons and stuff. But yeah, it's fun.
It's all I know. Well, I guess I did Zoom for a little while. I think I started with Zoom. And then I can't remember why we switched to StreamYard, but it does seem easy. And now we're using it for all sorts of shit, right? It's like a podcast, but we use it like to stream events and just all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's wild what you guys are doing. The fact that you can even put on these events like that from this type of platform. It's pretty cool.
Did you see the Kill Taylor show?
Of course. I live for this.
Hey, I think that could be on Netflix.
Yes, I would watch it and I would pay. I would pay for it. Even if it was behind a paywall, I would pay for it.
We could just go we can just go crazy. I want to show you this clip. Sometimes when I have Taylor on here, I'm just like, holy shit, I can't believe the stuff he's saying. And I kind of like that. I'm just like, okay, all right. I want to show you this clip that I saw the other day. If I can find it. But once I saw this clip, I was just like, holy shit. If this is, do you know who that guy is? Pat McAfee. He used to have a podcast and then he got this $150 million contract with ESPN.
Yeah, he's crazy. He had to get rid of Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, did he? He had to get rid of Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers was going on like every Tuesday.
Yeah.
And Aaron said something crazy, which I don't think if it had just been his podcast and not on ESPN, it would have been fine. But because it was on a live ESPN show, and then all of a sudden Tuesdays with Aaron Rodgers was gone.
Oh, is there Aaron Rodgers kicked off McAfee? Was it like officially he was kicked off, or?
I think they just kind of quietly parted ways or whatever, but he said something. I don't know if it was
Oh, there is a let me see this. I didn't know he was kicked off. I did hear that McAfee cut him when he got the ESPN deal. McAfee cut him a check for $500,000, like a thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers appearing on the Pat McAfee show is a wrap for the 2023 season. McAfee, host of the show on ESPN, announced Wednesday that the New York's Jet quarterback will not appear on the show for the rest of the NFL season. Aaron Rodgers' season 4 is done. There are going to be a lot of people that are happy with that, myself included, to be honest. McAfee said he had grown weary of the constant drama surrounding Rodgers and his controversial statements. Wow.
Yeah, I forget what he said, but it was something that.
Let me see this.
What we do know is the guy that stopped by yesterday caused quite a conversation.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
Now,
per usual.
Not like that. The
yeah.
Oh, Rodgers and his that was the thing with Jimmy Kimmel where he accused Jimmy Kimmel of being on
yep, that's right. On
Epstein's plane.
Yeah, he was going to be on the Epstein list.
And didn't Jimmy Kimmel fire back at Aaron on Twitter?
They went back and forth a couple times.
Like he said, "Hey, keep this up, buddy, and I'll see you in court."
Yeah.
Wow.
And he was afraid that his family was going to get, he was going to get attacked or, because he was being labeled a pedophile, basically.
And that didn't sit well with Jimmy.
Yeah, so he wanted to sue him off the planet.
I remember during the whole Floyd 19 thing with Greg, learning you can call someone a racist, but you can't call someone a pedophile. because racist doesn't have like isn't a defined term, and pedophile is. And so if you call someone a pedophile and you don't have proof of it, I guess you can get all fucked up.
Well, yeah, I mean, that kills your entire career, right? There's no coming back from that. I mean, if
Right.
people think you're a pedophile, like, that's it.
Pat Lang, it was not the Jimmy Kimmel thing. It was the Fauci thing. He said Fauci created HIV virus along with the U.S. government. Damn.
He said a lot of things on that show.
Damn. Okay. Vittorio, he never accused him. You guys sound like CNN talking heads. All your info is wrong. That hurts. That hurt.
Yeah.
That cut deep. Sevon, Aaron and Pat are best friends. They ain't going anywhere. Oh yeah, because I would want my best. That's like saying Jocko and Rogan are best friends. Like I would want my best friend saying I'm glad he's not here anymore. Do you remember when that Rogan thing went down? Remember when they took all those racial slurs and they connected them all together and then they played it? And I just remember Jocko speaking out about it, and he's like, "Yeah, he's a good dude, but I'm concerned about his drinking and his mushroom use." And I'm like, Jesus criminy, no, like I don't need to like. Now's not the time to bring that up, dude.
Yeah.
Who needs
That's
friends like you?
private time. That's
How
behind closed doors.
How about fuck off? Anyway, I wish I could. I want to show you this clip that I saw on the McAfee show. Oh, someone showed me. Someone sent me another picture of Haley Adams wearing a CEO shirt. I like that.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Damn, where is that clip? Oh, here it is. Okay. Damn. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay, here it is. I saw this the other day, and then this reminded me of the Kill Taylor show, and that's when I thought, oh shit, we're ready for prime time.
Okay.
Hey, fuck the Lions and fuck Detroit! You guys are gonna be chanting head and hooker in 2 years! Fuck off!
I wonder if that crowd can hear him.
I have no idea. I would assume so. I mean, there's nothing.
They booed, right?
Yeah, there's nothing keeping the sound in.
You guys are losers!
Add a third one.
And then this next line coming up made me think of Taylor.
How long do you think you could do this?
I've never worried about the fucking Lions, and today will not be the day that I start. Jordan Love's gonna put his big old dick on every one of your foreheads for the next 20 years!
That's bad, right? No one wants a dick on their forehead.
No, that's not a good thing. It's like when Cat did the Shaq put his, hit his dick on his forehead. Yeah, nobody wants that.
Yeah, no one. What happened? Cat Williams did that to Shaq. He put his dick on his
No,
forehead?
it was a joke he had in one of his specials where maybe it was Kevin Hart, but it was just, all of a sudden he turned around and Shaq's dick was on his forehead or whatever.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, right, because he's so tall.
Yeah.
We saw this show about we saw this on the show about 3 days ago. Okay. Okay. All right.
It was funny then too.
When I was in, so when I saw that, I was just like, oh shit, the show's ready for Netflix.
Yeah. When Taylor told Hiller to eat a dick, when Hiller was like, oh, he's going to beat you, he's on pace or whatever, I fell out. I was dying. I couldn't take it. I was like, this is great.
What made me think of Netflix too is, I guess Jake Paul and Mike Tyson are going to fight here in July.
I can't wait.
So then I Googled Netflix live shows, and I see that they've been doing a ton of live like comedy shows.
Oh, really?
Or at least a handful. And then they got a bunch more coming. So then I was like, God, wouldn't this be crazy? We could use this exact format. Like, who cares if it looks janky? I think it would be endearing about the show, right?
Oh, it is. And all the characters on your show, either the chat, everybody, it's great. Makes the show.
Asymmetric Gears, Jocko basically said, what's the big deal? Put the mask on. Most interesting, he deleted that stuff later. I just, when your friend's down, isn't the time to be like, you know, let's say your friend's being charged with some like being inappropriate with women, and be like, no, I never saw that. Although sometimes he would kiss girls inappropriately, and it's like, why'd you have to throw that in there? Like, are you on like either fucking he is your friend or he's not your friend?
Hey, speaking of which, what do you think about the conspiracy with Ryan Garcia? You think you think he popped for real, or you think that that the Matrix is trying to mess with him?
Did you see the fight?
I didn't see it. I saw the clips later.
He uh I don't know. I don't like if you had to give me if you were like Sevon, here's $1,000,000, you got to bet either way. I'd say he was definitely on substance. He's made it clear like he has a total I don't give a fuck attitude. I mean, like he never planned to come in at weight,
Yeah.
and he bet $2,000,000 on himself, and he won 12. And so I was talking with Dave about this on the phone the other day, and I was like, God, I wonder if you lose the money if you don't win the bet, if the athlete tests positive for drugs. And I looked it up, and you still win the money.
Oh, well then screw it. I would do it too.
Yeah, right? It's like, hey, get juiced up. Who cares if you lose the money and don't get the title if you bet $2,000,000 on yourself and you got 12,000,000 somewhere else? Like you want and at the end of the day, all people are going to remember is that you won the fight.
Right. And if he did have to pay Haney the money for coming in overweight, so what? You still walking away with like 9 mil.
Yeah, it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Smart.
and he's going to be a pay-per-view legend. Like I'll watch his next fight I will 100% get.
Right. Yeah, you want the controversy. He was on like World Star or whatever talking about how he is gonna, drop everybody's name, release the list. He doesn't give a crap. Now the Matrix is out for him. He's doing a whole Andrew Tate thing.
Like the pedo list.
Yeah, so he's just gonna drop everybody. He's like, I'm letting all the dirt out now.
Everyone has a pedo list.
Apparently.
And it's always these people who were like thrust into fame at a young age.
Yeah, I just don't think that that's good. I don't see anybody coming out on top when they get that much money at that young an age.
And being around all those adults.
Yeah.
And we know that De La Hoya was a coke using crossdresser.
Yeah, I remember that interview.
And that's not speculative. Like the pictures and shit are all out there.
Yeah. He just got into it too.
With Canelo?
Yeah, he went off yeah, I saw that too.
I mean, Canelo called him out at a press conference saying, hey, if you're a boxer, get the fuck away from Oscar De La Hoya. He just steals money from you.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
I believe Canelo.
I do too. If I was De La Hoya, I would kind of just quietly back away and just use it maybe to promote some fights, but
And who's the right-hand man of De La Hoya, the famous black boxer who fought till he was like 50? Is it Bernard Hopkins?
Hopkins.
I used to think Bernard was like the sober, cool one, but lately in the press conferences, him and De La Hoya both seem like crackheads.
They don't look good. They
No.
really don't look good at all.
No. You know what else I watched yesterday? Do you ever watch Bill Maher's show?
I've seen a couple of them, yeah.
So he's been doing this podcast. It sounds like he's doing it from his house. And every time I see it, I start to get a little, when you get embarrassed for someone when you're watching them, I start to get a little embarrassed for him. He had Dana White on the other day, and he just wouldn't let Dana, like, I think Bill gets too drunk and too stoned, and he couldn't keep the podcast going. It was a mess. It was bad. I was embarrassed for him, and I was embarrassed for Dana. I mean, Dana was a gentleman, but it was bad.
He did that a couple of times. He did it with Roseanne. I saw that one. He did it was the Dr. Phil one was weird.
Patrick Bet David fucked him up.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what he's doing. Does he still have his show or just the pod?
I think he has both. I think the show, every time when I see the show, I'm like, okay, this is the Bill Maher I like. But when I see him on the podcast, I'm like, oh, this is not good. Bill Maher hates himself. I find the thought of Dave was in here the other day and we drank a bottle of wine. And the thought of being drunk in front of my audience is horrible. I think that's the only time I've ever drank on the show. or maybe on some, maybe after at the games, maybe at the games after we filmed, I had a margarita or 6 before I came on, but I just can't just it seems like it should be separate, my show and drinking.
I also think too, he hasn't figured out what side of the aisle he's on. He's like coming out of the liberal haze, but is still in it. But I think he's trying to figure out what side or what his thoughts actually are now. I think they're starting to change, and he's trying to figure out what's happening.
One of the topics that came up was religion, and both Bill and Dana were saying that they're not religious at all, and Dana was saying that religion's like the most dangerous thing out there in the world, and I wish I could get Dana on so I could express some like ideas to him or some thoughts. I really 2 thoughts. One is what basically what Greg's introduced me to is whether you're religious or not, it's important. And Dana wants to be an American, and so you have to realize that being an American, the premise of it is Christianity and having inalienable rights that basically trump democracy, right? So no matter what, we should have free speech, right?
Yeah.
And democracy isn't going to protect that. We need inalienable rights. We need some of these things that people believe in, that these rights that God gave us. But then the other thing, Garrett, that I've been thinking about a lot lately is, how like it's undeniable that we have this bucket in us that's our sex drive, right?
Yes.
It's just undeniable. It's there. It's like just we all feel it. It pops up at weird times, like right before you go to bed, when you wake up in the morning. It's fucking, this thing is there. And I think I think we have a bucket that's religion, and whether you acknowledge it or not, it's going to fill with something. And I don't know if those things are values or behaviors or morals or what they are, but you're either aware of that bucket or you're not. And so when I hear people like Dana and Bill Maher not believing in religion, I feel like that they need help with their labeling of their self-awareness. You know what I mean? Like they need to be like, hey, then they need some help, like pointing to that, instead of just saying there's no religion. Be like, hey, it just doesn't come in the forms of Christianity and Catholicism and Muslimism. You know what I mean? It comes in other forms.
Well, I mean, religion, of course, it can be dangerous if you want to weaponize it and use it in that way. Of course,
Just like your sex drive could be dangerous, right?
Right. Exactly.
Right. Yeah. All the things, right.
For sure. So it depends on how you want to look
Your
at
hunger. Your hunger could be dangerous.
Yeah.
Eat yourself to death, right?
Yeah. If you want to use religion for, I think, mostly what it is meant for, which is forgiveness of other people, forgiveness of yourself, loving each other, respecting each other, living side by side. If you want to use it in that way, then of course you'll be spiritually full. You know what I mean? You just have that love for other people. The way I see these kids now on these college campuses and how they're talking and on TikTok and whatever, it's just like they have no regard for human life. It's almost like they think if they do something to somebody else, they can just restart the game over and it just starts over. It's like, no, you injure somebody else, you kill somebody else, you hurt somebody else, that it's over. You just took somebody's father, son, mother, child away from them. They're never coming back. And these kids don't understand that. They're just, to them, it's just a freaking video game and internet. You know what I mean? They just don't have any regard for that, hey, that life is over. Respect for that. There's none of that. It's
If you have a healthy relationship with sex, it can add a lot of value and fun to your life.
yes.
It can be so fun. It can add so much value. I mean, everyone knows, like, you could be like having a rough 2 weeks with your wife, and then you have sex and everything just goes away, right? It can be therapeutic. It's just awesome, right? And then, but you can also see the harm sex does in from the far extreme of rape to cheating on someone, right? Like it comes with pain too. And then the same thing with food. You can eat food too, and I just choose these two because they just seem so like part and parcel with just who we are. You can have food and it can make you flourish and be happy and have healthy thoughts and move nicely and fuel you throughout the day, or you could have a shitty relationship with food and it's like a fucking nightmare, right? You weigh 500 pounds, you're constantly thinking of food, you're eating shit, it's causing you health issues. I mean, so religion's the same thing, but it has a huge impact on civilization. Like if you choose the wrong, I mean, like you can see, would you rather live in one of the 54 Muslim nations, or would you rather live in one of the Christian nations based on how religion affects civilization?
Well,
I-
you always
Go ahead.
talk about boundaries,
Right.
and your kids need boundaries, and they play safely within these boundaries that they can do anything. They just have to be within those boundaries, and they're safe within those boundaries.
Right.
I think that's the same thing with everything, right?
Like with
Religion,
food, or
yeah,
food. Yeah. Okay. Or religion. Okay.
religions, sex, just relationships with people. You have set boundaries where you can be friends, you can be lovers, you can be whatever, but they're within these boundaries that's safe inside the boundaries. You start going outside the boundaries and then you get rape and world wars and all obesity, all kinds of things.
Right. Jake Chapman, Christianity is just 500 years ahead of Islam. I don't know what the timeline on it, but yesterday, someone in this Instagram post I read quoted was like saying all these quotes that are in the Quran about killing people and beheading people, and there were like 20 of them, and I vetted them all. I looked them all up, like Quran 247, and of the 20 and this was just on Instagram. Of the 20 I looked up, only one was accurate. The other 19, the person either misquoted them or I found the wrong quotes, but they seemed like it was painting the Quran in a worse light than it really is. But there's sure is a lot of talk about violence in the Quran. Boy, there's a lot of talk about violence. I mean, it wasn't like just behead people for no reason, but it's basically like if someone doesn't agree with you, or they're pushing back on you, that they're your enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how it is right now. That's what it feels like right now. You go try to talk to somebody about your beliefs that might be different than yours, and then they just want to scream and yell at you and tell you that you're a racist and a phobic and whatever. They don't actually want to have the conversation. It's just automatically, we don't like you. You're not with us. If you're not with us, you're against us. It's, there's just no conversation to be had. And I remember being in that headspace. And
Yeah,
it
me
just,
too. I remember too. Yeah, I remember just hating Trump.
yeah. And you
Because
couldn't tell me anything.
right. I used to have this line that I would use all the time. It's so embarrassing. I don't think I've ever said it on the show. I would tell people, I'd be like, "Hey man, it's just about character. I wouldn't let my kids hang out with Trump, but I would have no problem with them hanging out with the Obamas and the Clintons." And now I think, holy shit, I said that. I would never want my kids hanging out with the Clintons.
No, not even a little bit. Nope.
Jonathan Ortega, I touched a Quran once in Iraq and got an AK-47 pointed at my face. Pat Lang, the Old Testament might be the most violent book ever written. It's so bad they had to push it aside and make a new one that people might actually follow. All right.
That's true.
All right. Fair enough. Yeah, Joe can't be around my kids either. Speaking of fucking creepy.
God,
Oh, how's the podcast going, by the way? I saw that you had Jake. I had never seen Jake Chapman up close like that, only in this picture. I didn't realize he looked like that, like a model.
dude, he's hot.
Yeah, he looks like a Backstreet Boy,
Like
like a modern version of it.
someone asked me if I realized how, as a lesbian, if I realized how hot Chase was. I was like, yeah, I do. And I also realized how hot Jake Chapman is. He's fucking
Yeah.
hot. Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time. It's like having a bunch of brothers.
Do you ever think about changing your look altogether? Like, I know I've tempted to get a haircut, but another part of me is just like, fuck it. Like, I don't know what I'm doing with my look right now. But I'm just thinking. And then I had a friend over the other day who had long hair, so I was like, maybe I'll grow my hair long, or I don't know what I'm doing with my beard. Do you ever think like, hey, I'm just gonna shave my head bald, or I'm gonna grow my hair to my shoulders? Do you ever think about changing your look?
I tried to grow my hair to my shoulders with you that one time, and then it got annoying for me too, because all I ever did was put it in a ponytail, and I was like, well, this is annoying and time consuming. So then I just cut mine off. I'm fine. I like my hair short.
Yeah. And do you like just having one look? Do you like waking up in the morning being like, "Hey, that's me"?
Yeah, it's easier when I want to fuss around with a bunch of different stuff. But nah.
Mike McCaskey, a 52-year-old man, worried about his look. I think it's the exact opposite. It's even more. It's worse than that. I'm a 52-year-old man that's worried that I'm not worried about my look. How's that? I'm worried that I'm not worried about my look.
You don't have to be worried about your look, dude.
I'm worried. Hobo Sevon is making a comeback. Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
You're gonna do it again?
I mean, I don't know. The thing is like I went to Supercuts the other day to cut it, and the line was too long. And then I was thinking, well, it's not bothering me, but do I? Mostly, it's just do I want to present like less hobo? I don't know.
I mean, man, if you're gonna go to Netflix, you can't be Hobo Sevon.
I can't be. You don't think so?
Please don't be.
You don't think I can? So you think I should get a haircut?
Well, I think your hair looks. I mean, you need a little trim up. You don't have to cut it crazy.
What about this look? I saw this Jason Kalipa Sevon podcast. What about this look right here? Let me see if I can find no, not oh shit. Look at the man bun. God damn it. Don't ever let me do that again. Where is it? There how about this look right here?
I'm so afraid.
What about this look right here? This is like this is corporate Sevy.
Oh, you look so young.
Yeah, what if I did that? What if I just cut my hair like that and
I like it. I mean, that's real corporate Sevy.
yeah. Look at corporate Sevy.
Are you gonna do the collared shirt and everything? That's too much. That might be too much, dude.
No, well, I don't know. I don't know what the clothes. We'll have to have another show you can consult me on clothes.
I'm not good at that. You need a straight woman. I can't do that. My wife dresses me.
Does your wife dress you?
Yeah, man. I don't know any of those pictures where me and her and our son are matching or whatever. That's my wife. I don't match things.
Oh my God, you look like you work for IBM. You're wearing a helmet in this picture. Oh, you mean like it looks like I have Lego hair right now? That guy works for CNN. All right. I don't know. I went into the hairstylist one time and I took a picture, or it was Supercut. I went to Supercut and I took a picture of Brad Pitt with me just to see what the lady would say. I'm like, "Can you cut my hair like this?" And she held a straight face. She's like, "Yes." I'm like, "You can make me look like this?" She's like, "Uh-huh." I'm like, "Wow."
Did she?
No.
I was gonna say. I was
Fucking, I always look like something between Stallone, Fonzie, and Robert De Niro. I always end up like some like
this Stallone from Cliffhanger. Yeah, I can see that.
I did like looking at Ryan Garcia's girlfriend. Did you see her? She has a huge nose, and I really thought that was a let me see, Ryan Garcia girlfriend.
Is that the dark-haired girl that's standing behind him in the
I don't know, but Ryan Garcia's girlfriend flirted with by streamers. Oh, that's not a good picture of her. Hold on. They were in a store getting a wedding ring together.
Oh boy.
And I oh yeah. Let me see if I can find that. Damn, I can't find it. Anyway, she had a big nose, and I felt like that was a win for my people.
You saw yourself on in the picture.
I was like, you know what? Ryan Garcia might want to date me. I thought that was a win. Every picture of her is just like, if I look up images, they're all just skank shots. Like, this is not what she looks like. They're just shots of her in a bathing suit. And oh yeah, here she is. Let me see if I can pull this up. Accept. Look at this nose on this chick. Made me so happy to see noses getting represented. Here we go. That's a schnoz, right?
Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah, that is the girl in the video. Okay, yeah. Yep.
That a girl?
Good job.
Yeah.
Representing.
Yeah. Did you see this video going on around about with where the comics are talking about Dave Chappelle?
No, what is he getting crap for the trans movement thing again?
No, this one's really fucking weird. So this is
Oh no, not Dave. I love Dave.
well, I think I saw Kanye the other day saying that it said it was either Kanye or Cat Williams said Chappelle, Diddy, and someone else are all controlled operatives. And then I saw this. And this shit was just weird. Okay, here we go.
What happened between you two? Did you fall out? Or did you just go different ways?
No. We I think different ways, but I'll put something out there that I don't know if when we were filming we were filming a movie, and he also had a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
From HBO and or not HBO, Comedy Central and all
Comedy
this shit,
Central,
right?
the worst bunch of people on earth.
Horrid.
So they hate the people at Comedy Central.
Okay.
He then, while he was on the show, when it was blowing up, and we remember the Aspen Comedy Festival? I don't know.
Yeah, that was fun. I did that too.
He came there, and he was freaked out.
Yeah.
I said, "What's going on?" And all I could say is he was visited.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
what I
shit.
think too.
What does that mean?
I have no idea. Visited.
So what are our options? The FBI, God, angels, aliens,
Yeah.
CIA, the Illuminati. Like he was visited.
Executives. I have no idea.
And when he told me who visited him, my heart stops for a second. I'm
shit.
like, get the fuck. And I'll never forget, he went, "You believe me, right? You believe me, Jim, right?" And I could, he's like, "They came to me." And he said the names. I'm like, get the fuck.
They told him who's on the list. They tell him who's on the list.
Oh, the Epstein list?
Yeah.
Fuck. And what happened? And then all of a sudden he went to Africa.
Yeah, that's what I remember happening. But they never really said what happened. Was he threatened? I mean, I don't.
So the deal with Africa is just what we know is just people from the outside, right? Is that his show was killing on Comedy Central. I remember I was in my teens or something.
Yep.
Then he was offered $50 million for a season, and he went to Africa because he said the stress was too much, right?
Yeah, he said, and everybody thought he was crazy. That was the narrative, that he was he went crazy, went nuts. He had to go leave the country, whatever. Yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
Not much.
I don't have.
You can't. Say.
That's none of my business.
Okay.
But I know for a fact
He was corrected.
he said correct.
Yeah.
So maybe he got confirmation of the shit being weird.
He was visited by something and then was corrected. Oh, shit. Look at CIA Public Affairs Office. Officially, we do not confirm or deny that we visited Dave Chappelle. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
He was, hey, by whoever it was.
Mhm.
Hey,
I want to.
we need to have a conversation. Would you like some of your own coffee in your house? What?
I don't get what that means. What's that mean?
Maybe he was a part of it, and then he was visited by someone who's like, "Hey, you're gonna get caught, or these people are like, I don't know, or you're gonna be owned by these people, you're gonna be owned by these executives, these weirdo people." So he ran away from it to get away from it. I hope that's what it was.
But
I mean, I never saw him in a dress. Did he ever start? Oh, I guess on the show maybe once, but
they are watching and spying on him. But what could you have on someone? Like, I just can't imagine, like, so you have footage of me jerking off to porn? Like, you have Ronnie Teasdale tasting his own semen? Like, so what?
there's always that conspiracy where they put like kiddie porn on your computer, or I saw that conspiracy too, or
Yeah, not even a conspiracy. Like they're legit doing that.
I
There was
mean,
that lady who testified in front of Congress that said that they told her that hey, one of our plans to get you was just to put kiddie porn on your fucking
I'm
husband's
not
computer.
surprised. Yeah. Or maybe just because he hung out with Diddy or he hung out with, yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
Like that lady said, it's planted. Yeah, I totally believe that they do that. I totally believe that they do that. You know, Apple is when you use their cloud, they have a bot that's going through all your photos looking for kiddie porn. That's wild, isn't it?
Just the fact that if you say a word around your phone and then all these advertisements start popping up. Someone even said like they just thought something and then all of a sudden the advertisements were popping up on their phone for whatever it was. Just that there's even that technology. I'm sure
Um,
that
and you know how shitty the bots are because you write stuff on Instagram like, "Hey, that dude's a beast," and then you get a note from them, "Hey, hey, you can't say derogatory things," and you're like, you try to refute it. You're like, "That's a compliment. You're saying that person did good at the workout." I mean, the bots are horrible. So if they have bots searching through your pictures, it's only a matter of time before someone's going to get in trouble for something they didn't even do.
yeah, like your kid in the bathtub or something. I never did that.
His official Oh, right, right. You mean take pictures of your kids in the bathtub, store it on your phone, and then next thing you fucking know, you're going to jail.
Yeah. Like that was I remember when I was growing up, you have all these little like black and white photos or whatever of you in the bathtub with your brother or something like that, like
Right.
when you're 2 and 3, and your parents always had those embarrassing bathroom
Kids running
pictures.
through the sprinkler on the lawn naked,
Yeah.
fucking going crazy, yeah.
Nope. Not one. I don't got one.
His official story is that he was told his comedy was too black. He's spoken on it before. They wanted him to make his comedy friendlier to a white audience, and he didn't wanna change. Yeah, but what does that mean he was visited? And by who? And whoever it was, why did it make Jim Brewer be like, why did it freak Jim Brewer out? Like, the only thing if I were to tell you something, Garrett, and I would be like, "You believe me, right?" Like, if I told you, "Hey, the FBI came to my house," the next thing out of my mouth wouldn't be like, "You believe me." It'd be like, "Oh, fuck, I hope that they're not gonna plant shit on me." But I would have to say something like, "Hey, God visited me," or
Yeah.
"Aliens visited me," for me then to follow it, right?
Yes.
I'd have to say something crazy.
Something supernatural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
"You believe me, right? The UFO landed in my backyard. You believe me, right?"
Yeah, I would believe that the FBI came to your house.
Yeah, totally. Me too.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what's crazy is, I used to have pictures of my sons working out in the garage, and I had, like, 48 posts reported as being, like, inappropriate child images, right? And it's just 3 boys working out in the garage with their shirts off. So I started going that down and pulling them off, and then someone at Instagram who listens to the show said, "Hey, you gotta pull all those pictures down because that's someone's out to get you, because if they get a certain amount of reports, and they have to they reach a threshold, and then they report it to local authorities, and a whole investigation opens. So you should pull them all off." So I started going through my Instagram account, pulling off any pictures with my kids working out with their shirts off. Well, just fucking a couple weeks ago, I saw the fucking craziest, most inappropriate picture on the president of Instagram's page. It's a picture of a bunch of kids with their shirts off, and there's a bunch of girls with their shirts off too. And I'm thinking, they're just little kids, but I'm thinking I wouldn't do that.
No.
And it's kind of it's they're not working out. Do you know what I mean? It's like this almost seductive, like beautiful shot. And I'm like, wow, how the fuck does that guy get away with this shit? But I have kids like fucking slamming D-balls and running on treadmills, and my shit gets fucking punked. Yeah, it was really inappropriate what he had. I thought it was inappropriate what he had on there.
The top 1% of the 1% with all that money, they're just weird when it comes to sex. It's just weird. All these underage girls, all these underage kids. It's all coming out now. You can, the Nickelodeon thing,
And the Disney thing, those people
Yeah.
you'd get fired from Nickelodeon and then go to
Sure.
Disney, and get fired from Disney and go to Nickelodeon. It was like this haven for pedophiles.
And it's all the upper echelon, dude. And I'm just like, what is it? What is it when you get that much money and you have that much power? Now you want to sleep with kids.
Yeah, that's what power does to you. It makes you want to bang kids.
I've been racking my brain with this, and I don't know how you get that powerful and now you want children.
No, it wasn't on Zuck's page. The president of Instagram, I forget his name. He's so fucking weird. He was and during the pandemic, he was parading. He's so weird. During the pandemic, he was parading his kids around like in masks and out at parks in masks, and he is a trip. And the people that I know that know him say he is not a good person.
I was waiting for him to fight Elon. I wanted to see that really badly.
Oh, Zuck and
Yeah.
Elon. Yeah, I can't. Someone will say the guy's name. He's a trip. He's been the president of Instagram forever. He's like this androgynous dude. Pat Lang, power doesn't make you want to bang kids. Being a pedo makes you want to bang kids. Nobody chooses to want kids. They are born fucked up animals.
Sure, I can go with that, but I also do believe that there's a certain thing that happens when you have just been so rich and so powerful for so long. I think there's something there. This is how many, like, everybody's a pedophile now. It's you know what I mean? You didn't hear about this 10, 15
Oh,
years
like
ago.
it's trendy. Like
Yeah,
the chick from Transformers, all her kids are trannies now.
right.
All
Yeah,
of them.
yeah. It's insane. Like,
Hey,
isn't it
Pat,
Hollywood kids?
I don't think that's true. Let me propose this. I don't think you're born a pedophile. First of all, like I'm trying to think. I don't know any women I can't think of any stories of women pedophiles. Like occasionally you get the high school drama teacher who fucks like the 16-year-old boy. But I don't think you're born a pedophile. And hold on, I'll answer this too. I think that I'm guessing the vast majority. Oh, this guy, Adam. Yeah, this guy. This is the president. Yeah, this guy is a creep. Adam Masori. This is a weird dude.
They all are. The president of Victoria's Secret,
Yeah,
they all
weirdo.
are just
Yeah.
weirdos.
Yeah. Pat, you don't think that the vast majority of pedophiles, it happened to them, and that's why they turn to pedophiles, specifically men, things with penises, like just your fucking radar gets thrown off on what's appropriate. Here's the thing. Here's the thing too. Remember when I don't know if you saw the show when I had Caitlin Harrison on here, and I read her book about how she was molested from when she was 8 to when she was 16, and basically her whole thing is that she didn't you don't even know.
Yeah, it's normal.
Yeah, like I never I never once thought, not that I was beaten or anything, but I've been slapped around a little bit by my dad. You know what I mean? Like just at the dinner table, like he's like, "Drink your milk." I'm like, "No," and I take one to the face. And I still don't think it was wrong. I don't think it was right. But I never once at the time thought it was wrong. Never once. I was like, "Fuck, I better drink my milk."
Well, on the latest Joe Rogan podcast that he just put up with is a comic name. I think his name's DiStefano or something from New York. He talks about how he was like 13 years old and some 21 or 22-year-old woman fondled him. And he's talking about how great it was. She was gorgeous. I was like, dude, you were molested. Like,
who, Rogan said that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a friend. I know a 15-year-old boy who was fondled by an older woman. And at the time, I'm like, what the fuck does he care? But shit went sideways. And it did fuck him up even at 15.
I don't even think boys know, or they know.
No, they don't know.
And
you don't know because you think everything that happens to you as a kid is normal.
It was crazy. He's just talking with his buddy, having a great time. He's telling this story, and I'm like, wow.
I don't think kids should be having sex, period. I think it fucks kids up. I don't think that's like it's like I don't think you should eat glass. I think it's like that. I think it fucks your radar all up. I don't think you want to sexualize a kid.
There's a responsibility to sex, like you talked about in the beginning. Like, you have sex, you have to have some sort of responsibility around it. You could have a baby from it. You could get an STD from it. You could get AIDS from it. There's all these adult things that can happen to you if you have sex. So if you're a kid having sex, you're not an adult yet. You don't have the brain to be able to handle that.
Here's the thing. I think that I would say that 90% of the people who have sex with kids, it's because someone had sex with them when they were kids, or they're on drugs. You're on you're on shitloads. All my friends, by the way, in college who turned transgender, it was all drugs. All of them were into meth, and it was all boys. All the boys I know who turned to girls, they got heavily, heavily into meth, and then they ended up sucking dick, and then they eventually like started painting their nails and growing their hair long and wearing makeup, and next thing I knew, they were so into fucking meth. Does that comport with you? You ever been around the drug scene, the meth scene?
No,
Oh,
I really didn't. I was pretty sheltered when it came to that. The most I ever saw was weed. Kids smoking weed out of Pepsi cans or whatever outside of school somewhere. But no, I didn't really see anything when it came to meth or heroin or cocaine, nothing like that.
with dudes, I mean, I don't know this for a fact. I'm just in my own operating system with dudes. Like you want girls, and then you realize that you have to get girls by like doing like cool shit, right? Like setting the world record for juggling, or getting a job, or having shelter for it. Like get a house, and then some girl will want shelter. Like you got to do something. You got to like offer some service to the woman. You know what I mean? You have to be nice. You have to like, um,
The high risk stuff, yeah, I saw that. That was mostly with alcohol, though. Actually, my senior year, we did lose a lot of kids. They died because they were at a party and they were trying to show off for girls. So they were drinking at the beach, bonfire, whatever. And then they decided they had these cool, like muscle cars, and they decided to drag race them down a really like small road. The turns are crazy turns. Even just doing 30 on them you're risking it. And they died, and they hit a tree. They got shot out the windows. And it ended up being that one of the kids' moms was on the ambulance that came
oh
to the scene.
shit.
Yeah. So the high risk behavior is there, but yeah, it's alcohol mostly was out here. It stems from that. And
And then when people get into meth, they start prioritizing that over girls, and then that's when your shit gets all out of whack.
yeah.
Like as a boy, you should like be prioritizing wanting to impress girls in a healthy way, and then motivate you to be a better person, right? Not to be a fat slob, to have a good job, to fucking get shelter, to like
Yeah, my little brother learned how to use deodorant when he was trying to get
yeah,
girls. That was the thing you're
yeah,
supposed to
there
be
you go. There
trying
you
to
go.
do.
Not have good hygiene.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, I mean just like but if you show up to a party, like I knew ugly dudes in college show up to a party with coke, and it just rained pussy on them.
Yeah.
Ryan Tangway, Pat Lang, pro athletes talk about this all the time. Why do you think they like getting pegged? Fucking dudes, even though they are straight. They all had supermodels already.
If that's going back to the upper echelon, like, they get all this money at a young age, and then they had power for a long time, and they start diddling kids. I think there's something to that. I don't know. And I agree. They are straight guys.
It's some expression of power.
Yeah. Or they want the girl that no one's ever slept with before. They go back to this whole virginity thing. I don't know.
Like wanting to shoot the last white rhino. You have so
Yeah.
much money, like you don't give a fuck. Like I'm gonna fuck little boys and kill the last white rhino.
Yeah, it's just there's got to be something. There's no way that all of a sudden all these multi-billionaires and CEOs of these humongous companies, it's all coming out that they want to sleep with 14-year-old girls and 13-year-old boys. Like,
Here's the thing. Let's say even if you did want to do that, there's so much other like last night I walked by the fridge, and I want to eat I don't know. Fuck, I don't know what's in there, but let's say instead I cut off a piece of steak and I eat that. Like you still make better choices. Like you're really attracted to this 15-year-old girl. What wait 3 fucking years. Go jerk off. Go find, you know what I mean? Like
maybe it is the boundary thing. Maybe it's just I have so much power, I have so much money, I can move however I want. No one's gonna mess with me. And so you're just like, I'm gonna go outside these boundaries that have been set.
You're saying like Eggert's saying it's big dicking in the worst possible way.
Yeah. Good call.
Look at me. I bet you always regret that shit. I bet you there's not one person who is proud of themselves.
I can't.
It's been proven. Books have been written on this. Once you have had all this stuff you always wanted before you had the ability to get it, you turn into edgier and darker things. God, I hope Elon sticks to like buying things like Twitter. I think you're over exaggerating how many of these powerful CEOs are diddling. Okay, I'm with you. It's a few that have recently been caught because people are speaking up. Okay, I hope you're right.
Me too.
Hey, I feel the same way about the protest. I don't think the protests are that big at the college campuses. 100 kids there, 200 kids here. I don't think that they're that big of a deal at all. I think it's just fun to watch on the news. You think that they're big? You think it's a big deal?
I mean, have you seen the pictures of the aftermath after they cleared it out?
Yeah, just all the tents and shit and like pizza
Garbage
boxes and yeah.
needles and shit everywhere. Nah, it was a big fucking deal, dude.
I just don't think it's thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah, okay, fine. I might be able to get with that, but
And I don't even the thing is I don't respect the people who are like protesting. Like these scumbags that like they don't I'm not threatened by them at all. These fucking people who were at the BLM protest, I'm threatened by them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking flipping cars over, burning shit, that fucking destroying cities, shooting people. Like I'm like, fuck. I don't want this in my town. The whole university protest, it's like
I mean, I don't know how
just a bunch of pussies.
I don't know how yours are going over there in UCLA and whatnot, but
Just pussies.
Ours over here, they were like demanding water and food,
Yes.
and how can you let us starve and dehydrate out here? And I'm just like, you're never gonna survive anywhere. You want to protest, but you can't get water.
Why aren't the police protecting us? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Yeah, I can see that.
They can't even protect this. They can't protect anything right now.
That
Okay, let's watch the end of this thing.
Yeah, like that heavy shit. And that's the first time, I would. It's it, and so when I saw him come back, it was a lot less communication, and maybe he just, maybe he just grows, whatever. But I can honestly say, and maybe I'm crazy and I am crazy for saying this.
Here it comes.
When I saw him completely come back, I really questioned if that was him.
Yeah, I know.
Holy shit.
so like he changed his mind, or it's a totally different person. Like they AI'd him and brought him back.
That's exactly it. So I watched this. My wife sent me this clip, and I watched it, and I made an audible like, what the fuck? Like this hit me. Like I don't usually do that when I watch Instagram. But I was tripping. And then she goes, "What, you're tripping on that?" And I go, "Yeah, like who visited him? Like, is this just a joke? Like, please tell me this whole thing's a joke." And when he says it's not him, yeah, X-Files. Yeah, like that kind of shit. Yeah, like really?
Because you could say, okay, maybe he went over there, he got baptized, found religion, came back a different person. But if you're talking like a whole new, like programmed Dave Chappelle, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's yeah, and my wife said, "What do you mean? Like, what are you tripping on? Like, he's not real? Like, he's an AI?" I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the psyop is capable of now. I don't know what AI is capable of now. Like, is the whole I don't know.
They're definitely talking about it. They're trying to do it. They're trying to clone people. They're trying to do all this extra stuff. So, I mean,
Or why? What if you had an AI doing on stage doing a Comedy Central show with an AI crowd, and like we didn't even know, and we watched the whole thing, thinking that like he was performing in front of fucking 5,000 people.
the only thing is a lot of the end of his comedy is usually about like the trans movement and how, you know what I mean? Like he got in trouble for that a lot. And that would be against what the government wants right now.
Right.
They want everybody to be trans. And he was like, no, you're not a woman. And he did it in like, I don't know how many specials. So that would have went against whatever they were trying to program us with.
My wife said something else the other day that was interesting. How you can keep splitting the masses. What was the example she gave? So you have all these people who are like, let's say you have two groups. You have like a group that's like mandatory injection, fuck you, keep your vaccines away from me, right? And then then you have the Israeli Palestinian conflict, and then those groups then split in half, right? So the people who are vaccinated, they split in half, and the people who are unvaccinated split in half, and then you can just keep having all of these. You can start manufacturing all of these conflicts.
Yeah, they're doing it with race right now. There's a whole bunch of pages out there you can find where they tell you light-skinned black people aren't black, and they're not part of us. Just ask the cops. You know what I mean? And
Who put that out?
it's just on Instagram anywhere. If you look at
Oh.
some of these pages, there's usually DL Hughley's good for something like that. But yeah, you can do it with anything. You can do it with race. You can do it now. You got women split up about who's a woman, what's a woman. You got they're splitting they're going everywhere.
When I was in the Dominican Republic, that was a trip because it's just all black people there, but they also have a hierarchy.
Yeah, for sure.
So the darker the black you are, the lower you are in the hierarchy. I couldn't even
The more
fucking
oppressed you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like if I get pulled over, I'm just gonna get to go away, no repercussions, none of that. But if a darker skinned person gets pulled over, like my sister or my dad, they're gonna get whatever this oppression is.
Or me.
Or you.
Yeah. I get pulled over for all sorts of shit.
Yeah, man, you've been pulled over a million.
I'm like Bin Laden.
No, right? I think that's.
And I know that's really crazy.
I think those same things. Yeah.
I know that's crazy.
Oh, it's no crazier than that. Oh, the trains are going off the rails.
I tell you what.
So they both think Dave Chappelle isn't Dave Chappelle.
That's crazy.
Oh, Jeffrey Birchfield. So do you have privilege, Garrett?
Yes. Yes.
What kind of privilege do you have?
I don't freaking know.
Oh,
I mean, I'm assuming most of the time when I hear it, I have privilege if I get pulled over or if I have to talk to the cops or whatever.
How about going the other way? Do you lack privilege too? Like, because you're not black enough?
Yeah, I get that. I've always
Yeah.
gotten that.
Yeah.
So now they just call me red boned or whatever the hell.
Oh, I could see that. That's kind of they called Malcolm red.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was later.
his
Yeah.
nickname, red. Yeah, I think he had red hair. They called him red. Did you ever read that book, Aldous Huxley's the autobiography of Malcolm X?
Mm-mm.
Fuck, dude, you should listen to that.
It's an audiobook. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. He was a beast.
They don't like when you tell the real stories, but
It's so incredible. Actually, I read it in high school. It's fascinating to me. I read it in high school. Now that I think back on it, because he transitioned out of being a libtard, and it's wild. When he was in jail, one of the things he did is he took a dictionary and he copied an entire dictionary by hand.
oh wow.
Yeah, that's impressive, right?
Yeah.
So that he could increase his vocabulary. But now that I think about it, I read that book. I loved him, but that part never had an impact on me that he transitioned. I mean, he completely cracked the code on the Democrats. Like he completely cracked the code.
I just don't see how they can't see it. You know what I mean? It's like, sure, the right side, they got people that go way too right and you left side way too left. I get it. But how can you just not see that it's way too far on either side?
Right.
Forget us fighting over left and right or whatever, but how can you just not see that that's way too far that way and that's way too far that way? But they just don't.
So like way too far on the left is minor attracted persons, right? Like you want to love everyone and accept everyone. And
oh yeah, did you see the new pride freaking flag with the umbrella? There's actually a rainbow umbrella in this new flag. I was like, oh, for the maps.
Is that really what it's for?
Yeah.
Okay, so we agree that's too far.
Yes.
And then what's too far on the other side? What's too far on the right?
I don't know, killing people for whatever.
I
I don't
think
know.
that's the thing.
That's the yeah. All right,
That's the thing. That's the things.
you
That's
got
the
me.
thing. So, um, they didn't tolerate slavery.
Yeah,
The North absolutely didn't tolerate slavery. The Nazis, yeah, and
sure.
what party did the Nazis belong to? They were socialists. They were fucking Democrats. Hey, there is this one thing that the conservatives that are doing that right now that scares me a little bit. Not, I don't know if scares me is the right word, but they're trying to, the left's against hate speech. Now the right's against hate speech too. And that shit really concerns me. Like, fuck you and your hate speech. Who's going to determine what hate speech is? I
Oh, are
don't
they
even
gonna pass that thing where if you mispronounce somebody that
No, they're going to say if you say anything bad about Jesus or the Jews, it's fucking hate speech. It's like you should be able to say all the fucking negative shit you want about Jews and you should be able to say all we should put no censorship on speech.
there's always gonna be people that hate you for one reason or another. I don't
And you
know
shouldn't go to jail because you hate someone though and
how
express
you've
it.
gotten there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like to think if I don't like you, I just don't like you because I think you're an asshole, but it has nothing to do with anything else. But there are always gonna be people that have, like, that don't like gay people, that don't like white people, that don't like black it's you know what I mean? That you can't mandate that people what they think and how they feel about things. There are people that just aren't gonna like that. It's okay.
The left is like you can't say anything about blacks because it's hate speech. And the right is like you can't say anything bad about Jews, it's hate speech. And it's like they're both wrong. Like
Yeah.
you can say whatever the fuck you want. Clock, I still hold out hope that the law will be struck down fairly quickly. But these days, who knows? Domino Keynes, nothing negative can be said about Jews. Oh, except for the fact that across the world every day in the streets on planet Earth, people yell death to Jews. Shut the fuck up. I fucking hate that shit when people say that dumb shit. You know, another line I don't like is when people are like, the Jews rule the world. Yeah, what the fuck does that mean?
I'm s I'm still
Like
trying to
what?
figure
Like
that
so
out.
what? Like okay, so they had like, and if it's not them, who else is going to rule the world? Like say what you really mean. Like it's some sort of fucking like derogatory thing that Jews rule the world. And like what? Like what? Like do I have to be racist to understand that? You know what I mean? Like what if I said the blacks rule the world, and I'd be like, okay, the blacks rule the NBA. Cool.
Well,
Like
from
is there
how
something
I
negative?
understand.
Is there
From
something
how I
negative about that? Go
from
ahead.
how I understand it is just that if you say that all Jews are in charge and they're in charge of all the, all the money, all the whatever, that
Yeah.
it puts a target on their back, and that's why it's not okay to say. That's what I learned. That's what I was taught.
Say that again. Explain it to me one more time. Explain it to me one more
The
time.
way that I was taught it growing up was that if you did say that, it was like you were putting a target on their back. So because then you were telling people, "Hey, they're in control of the money, they're in control of the banks, they're lawyers, they're
Yeah.
whatever." So if you say that they run the world, it puts a target on their back and like World War II could happen again.
It's like propaganda.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's why I was told not to say it.
Yeah, so what if they fucking rule the world? So what if they Vietnamese people rule dry cleaning businesses? Like Middle Eastern people rule 7-Elevens. Andrew Sten, I don't know. Sorry, Pat. Like there's thousands of videos out there of people. I've never seen any group even close. There's not even a second place unless it's the same video they keep showing me over and over and over. Every day on the news, you can find someone saying death to America and death to Jews. And I've never heard anyone say death to the Quran or death to black people or death to fucking Chinese people. Like I don't see any of that. So sorry, dude. Not just once.
But you can find a bunch of stuff about white people being the root of all evil, and we have to learn better and do better and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
So
You love all people, Trish? You like the maps too? The minor attracted people? You love them? Oh, there are certain groups of Jews. Hey, it's only the black Jews. The black ones are horrible. Tell me about the podcast. How's it going? Are you still enjoying it? How long have you been doing it? How many shows you done?
It's fun. I think we have almost 130 videos. We just had Tyler on last night. He is such a gem. What an amazing dude. That was as fun as I thought it was gonna be. It was so cool.
He really is. When you say 130 shows, you mean 130 live? You've done 130 live shows?
Not live, no. The very, very beginning ones, which were, absolute like trash or whatever, they're still up because I'm just like, it's fine, whatever. But live shows, we've been doing them for about 3-4 months now.
And you do one a week?
More than that, usually 2 at the very least. Sometimes, like last week, we were on like 4 in a row.
And tell me the origins of the podcast again. You and when you're like, hey, I want to do a podcast, and you were going to start it with Colleen, your wife.
Yeah, and I think the idea, and it still is that I wanted to be able to find a way to talk about all the things I would always been afraid to talk about in public. To say I don't really support the pride flag anymore. To say all these things that you were so scared to say, in 2020, 2021. I think it was just a way. It started as a way for me to try to figure out how to be able to say these things out loud and how to be able to have conversations with people about it if I don't agree with you. So it's kind of like,
why did you want to say it? You feel an obligation?
I do, because I feel like if we don't talk about it, and we can't show that we can talk about it in a like calm, educated fashion, or at least try to get educated if I don't know anything about it, then we're never going to be able to talk to each other. It's just going to be 2 groups fighting forever and ever. And like you said, they're splitting all peoples. Like the gay community is split. There's so many different like groups down I have friends that just they don't like what I have to say and they don't want to talk to me. And then I have friends that are just like, hey, I might not agree with you, but I love you. And why do you think this? Let's have a conversation. And that's the origin of it. And it's been very cool. So,
the other day, so for a long time, ever since I went to the games last year, I was tripping on just how many fucking lesbians listen to the show. And when I was at the games, I probably took pictures with like a dozen different, lesbian couples. And I remember telling Susan this. I go, man, we're really fucking like speaking to the lesbian community. Like, there must be some part of this must be some part of the show that we're aligned. Like, I'm on the same wavelength as them. I'm vibing with them. And the other day, he was at a gym, and this is 3 years or 2 years after, or a year after I mentioned to him. He's like, hey, dude. I go, what? He goes, you're right. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, 2 or 3 different lesbians came up to me and like they liked the show. And the other day I was at the beach and this lady came out. And I don't know for sure if she's a lesbian, but I think she was. She's built like fucking JR, and she comes out of the water and she comes over and talks to me and goes, I love your podcast.
yeah, that's not surprising.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing when you say that there's a split in the gay community. And it's not a shock. It's not a shock to me at all. A matter of fact, it must be really hard. It must be really hard. This is going to be a weird thing to say. It must be really hard to be a normal gay man right now, because the gay men are really fucking shit up.
Yeah, they really are. And they don't, the gay men that don't want to be a part of that, they're just not as loud as the other half.
Yeah.
For some reason, some of them are. Like, you can find Conservative Ant. If you ever pull up Conservative Ant, he is super gay, and he is very, don't fuck with my guns, don't tell me what to say or what not to say.
They need to speak up for kids.
And he does. He very much does. He's like, what is this shit? This is not what we march for. This is not what we march to just live regular, normal lives. That was it. We didn't march for any of this other shit.
Do lesbians hate the idea of dudes in predominantly, you think? Like, what's the poll on that of dudes in women's sports?
Oh no, we're not. All the ones I know were like, nah. I only know a couple people that are like, no, what's the problem? Blah blah, and they're lesbians. And
are they athletes?
No. And therein lies the problem. They don't understand why there's a difference between men like playing in a woman's sport if they're on estrogen. It's like estrogen doesn't change the size of your freaking knuckles or your, bone density or your, you know what I'm saying? It,
It's
you're
just
still gonna,
and it's just the rules.
yeah,
It's just the rules. It's just the way it is. Like shit's not fair. Girls can have kids, boys can't.
yeah.
That's it. It's just not fair. It's just the way it is. Speaking of gays, Philip Kelly appears. Oh, there you are. I saw. Do you know who Douglas Murray is?
Sounds familiar.
You'll probably recognize him when. Let me see. If I can find him. God, there's so many good clips I want to show you. We're not even going to get to any of them. Hey, so you do the podcast. Sorry, I want to go back to the podcast. So you do the podcast and you're doing it. And do you think you're touching on the topics you want to talk about?
Yeah, I got in the last month or so, I've gotten a little bit away from it, but I want to get back to it. But yeah, we are. I mean, when we had that Board of Education meeting a couple weeks ago, that was terrible. And
Tell me about that. Act like I know nothing. I want to, because I know you and I talked on the phone a couple weeks ago about it, but tell the audience about that. It's wild.
so we basically got a new superintendent of schools, and there was a vote, and we had the board meeting, and she was there.
And you have a kid. You have a 5-year-old.
7.
You have
He's
a 7-year-old.
Yeah, he's finishing first grade. Yeah.
Okay.
And so we went, and not even realizing it, but the room was sectioned. Like you could see who was on whose side just by looking at the room.
And what were they voting on?
They were voting on the superintendent. This
Like
new lady,
to elect a guy.
to elect this woman. Her name's Fatima Morel. She comes from Buffalo, and during the heart of like the George Floyd and all that. And she very much is into critical race theory and gender theory, ideology, whatever. And I went to the meeting really just wanting to find out what her curriculum was going to be, what her thoughts were, if that was going to be part of it.
Is this her?
Yeah. Yep. And the board started talking first, and if we went in there for it to not be about race, to just find out like, hey, what is this woman going to teach our children? It very quickly became about race. And all the president of the board, they were all just like, this isn't about race, but it's about race. And it was immediate. You knew that it was going to boil over. And of course it did. And so when it was time for the public to speak, it just, this very nice white gentleman got up. He's got 3 daughters in the school. His wife's a teacher. He tried to ask some questions. You could see everybody lose their freaking mind. All of a sudden the chatter starts in the back. And
What were the questions like?
He just was concerned about the same thing that we were, just, the critical race theory. But at the minute that you say race or whatever, everybody else is, it's back and forth. Like the reservation and the black kids are like, no, you don't understand our oppression and how things need to change, and there's systemic racism. And, and he's trying to just say, hey, I don't want my kids to learn X, Y, and Z when they're 10. And it completely boiled over. And then this one lady got up, and it's hard because all these people are people I know. They're kids that I've seen come in and out of the deli millions of times, or they're people I graduated with or were a year or two older than me. These are all people, my teachers from school are there. Like, and once the lady from the reservation got up there and basically told us that white people are bad and we have to figure out,
She said that? She said that?
It pretty much. I mean, we have to understand, we have to learn, we got to read Black Tears and all this stuff. And it became someone yelling at us. And it was like, it didn't need to be about race at all. That wasn't what this was about. We just wanted to know what our kids were getting taught. That's what we came there for. Nobody was out to get this lady.
Did she speak?
Yeah, at the end. And the board gave her all the emails that people wrote concerned about her and what she was going to be teaching.
Yeah.
So they gave her all the emails. So she had all the emails that these parents had written to her or to the board. And then she got up and I think she tried to touch on some points, but she was also mad, just saying like, "Hey, what did you expect me to do while I was in Buffalo?" Um, that school system or that school was predominantly black. It was like 90% black and brown kids, and what I was basically a different audience. So now that she's here, basically like give her a chance because we're a much more blended community. Like our community is probably 50-50, and we've always been, at least since the 90s. So
Did they say anything in there that that pissed you off?
it it
Like
hurt.
her, sorry, not the parents, but her specifically?
No, I will see. I left the minute that it turned into an absolute fight, and it was going to be about race, and nobody was going to listen. It was very clear nobody was going to listen to anybody, and it was just going to be people being hurt back and forth. And I was like, you know what? Like we had talked about homeschooling anyway. We're going to homeschool, and that's pretty much just going to be what we're going to do next year. I watched it because it was on YouTube. So I watched the end part. There's two parts because the internet went down in the middle. So I watched her get up and speak later when I was more calmed down and less like sad and mad. But
And did you like what you saw?
not really. She doesn't appear to be a peacemaker. That you know what I mean? Like it doesn't seem like she's just gonna be like, "Hey, watch me do this. I'm gonna do this, and everything's gonna be fine, and just deal with it and suck it up." And I was kind of like, "Eh, I think I'll just
Did she flat out say that she was for teaching critical race theory?
no,
No, she didn't.
no."
Did she present anything that made her seem like she's going to support the victim class, like people, just anyone who
Well, I
cries
mean, the
for him?
people that supported her are bringing, like, literally said when they went up to speak that they brought her here to have somebody that looked like them, that represented them, that
Right.
you know what I mean? So it was kind of already like, okay, it's about race. It's about race. It's about you're gonna teach my kid how to I don't know what, like, have him feel bad about himself and he's gotta, bow down to a different race because he's bad. Like that's what?
What did your wife think? What did Colleen think?
She was sad too. It,
Yeah,
it, it was you never see it in front of you. You hear about it or you see it on the
on
internet,
Instagram. Yeah,
but it's never right in front of you, and it's never the people that or at least it wasn't for me, it wasn't the people that I knew. It's like some of those, I'm like, "Dude, I was at your house all the time. You think I don't like you now because I don't want my kid being taught critical race theory or gender ideology?"
right.
But, I mean, it was sides were drawn. It was and it wasn't even it wasn't supposed to be that.
Right.
So, yeah, it was sad.
I just saw this thing the other day. God, I wonder if I could find it. It was actually let me see if I can. This guy right here. This kind of fits along those lines. Here we go.
Times I believe that Black people are searching for a key to an unlocked door. That the door to opportunity is wide open and will cost you little to get in. The resources necessary to succeed in this country as Africans in America are here. We have everything we need to succeed except each other. We have money. Oh, we're not poor. We're just broke. Our money goes in one direction away from us. We've taken the art of consumption to a whole new level. We don't sell anything that we purchase and we don't make anything that we buy. We just consume. We are a $1.1 trillion annual economy. If we were a nation, we would be the 16th richest nation in the entire world. I've traveled to every place that Black people have been dispersed, brothers and sisters. I've been to South Africa, East Africa, Central Africa, West Africa, all over North Africa, and all over South America and the Caribbean. And there are no Black people in the entire world doing better than we are. Sometimes I believe that Black people are searching for a...
Obviously, Black people don't have a monopoly on that. But you look who the richest people are in our country right now, and they are the Asians. and they complain the least.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a complain scale. And then they make almost twice as much money as white people, but we know white people complain, and white people make twice as much money as black people, and it looks like just the way the media represented the black people probably complain twice as much as white people. And so it's like, hey, but the Asians aren't complaining at all. So what are they doing with their time? Thomas Sowell said that the reason why the Asians got so much further ahead than everyone else is that the blacks and the Hispanics went into politics. And there's no wealth generating like avenue for them. The Asians didn't go into politics.
Oh.
They didn't try to fix the system. They just put their heads down and worked in the system. Oh, and Trish says, and that's because Asians are extremely cheap. Whatever. That's what we need being taught in our schools. Stuff that makes people believe in themselves and like points to the door. You know what I mean? Like, hey, there it is. You can complain, and your complaints might even be valid.
Yep.
Your complaints can be totally valid, but are they going to get you what you want? We've all been there, right? Or it's like you know how the CrossFit Games athletes, like you hear them say it all the time, like, hey, you didn't do well in that event, or you got no rep. Yeah, my coach said I can complain for 5 minutes and then I have to stop, right? We hear that over and over. It's like, dude, you get 2 minutes, but unfortunately, people have made whole careers of complaining. And when I hear about, like, I mean, I don't know the details of your superintendent, but she's made a career of complaining, and she wants to teach complaining to your kids. And you're like, no,
And
thank
she
you.
also wants to teach us teach them what scale they are on the minority hierarchy.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
how much currency do you have in the minority hierarchy? And it's like, why? For what? Now you got a bunch of kids that normally would just go out and play together and have a good time, thinking like, oh, this dude, now they're looking for whatever racism or whatever they can use their currency for. It's just,
You're not even gonna fucking believe what I'm about to show you.
uh-oh.
So this, so hospitals have to buy shit from people, right? So let's say you're a heart doctor and you need to buy valves from someone. Let's say you change valves in people's hearts, right? This post is showing how the hospital chooses which company to buy the valve from. And theoretically, you would think that you would choose the valve based on whatever valve has the most success, right? So we got 100 valves from Glinton Medical, and 99 of them lasted 10 years. And we got 100 valves from Sevon Medical, and only 50 of them lasted 10 years. We're going with Glinton valves.
Right. Yeah, that
The
makes
Glinton
sense.
valves have less infections. The Matosian valves have more infections. The Glinton valves are twice as expensive. The Matosian ones are half as expensive, but they also perform half as well. So look at they have this hospital. This is their criteria sheet for picking valves. Number 1, price and best value, 20 points. Most you can get is 20 points. Number 2, the extent to which the goods and services meet the district's needs. You can get up to 25 points. The quality of the respondent's goods and services, 20 points. The reputation of the respondent and the respondent's goods and services, up to 20 points. Now look at this. The business that you're buying the heart valves from are owned by minority, women, and veteran-owned businesses. 15 points. Your fucking heart valve.
Depends on minority-owned businesses, females, and yeah, it's like
Dude, these aren't fucking pants.
it's like the Boeing doors. Like what?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I had to take a break from it for a little while. It was just depressing me.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to harvest. The scale gives more weight to diversity and inclusion than to the reputation of the vendor's goods and services. When assessing providers of transcatheter heart valves, devices used to counteract cardiac failure and keep blood flow throughout the body. It's we live in fucking crazy land.
I always thought that the pendulum would start swinging back really, really quickly and almost ferociously, and it hasn't yet, but I still think it's gonna happen.
I think it is too. I agree. I think it is too. I hope it just doesn't overcorrect.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
I did
y
too.
when I was listening to, Dana White on Bill Maher the other day, he was saying, "I'm just a common sense guy." And the problem is with common sense, like with common sense, you're like, "Okay, we do need to leave, um, room open for Native American kids to get into college, even at the cost of white kids not getting in. Let's do 10 scholarships a year." Like, you get it, right?
Sure.
The problem is you have to then be honest and be like, "Hey, that's racist, but it's a little bit of racism that we're gonna tolerate." The
Yeah.
problem is it's gotten completely fucking out of control, and now it's like, "Fuck you, you're white, you can't get in."
Yeah.
Instead of like I mean, it's just like
Well, that's what you've been taught your whole life, right? Black people can't be racist.
yeah.
But I mean,
Well, not in the Bay Area. In the Bay Area, I always knew they were racist.
oh yeah, no, it was a thing. Like you really just you couldn't say anything back ever, and I didn't.
Well, we couldn't say anything back, but we knew.
It just so
We knew.
uh,
We knew that they obviously, it's the minority of the minority, but I I mean, it's just I live in Santa Cruz now, this is the perfect example, and the only people I see jaywalking are white crackheads. When I lived in the Bay Area, all I saw were black people jaywalking, never white people, and when they jaywalk, like, white people, when they jaywalk, they scamper across like little rats. Black people walk really slow and look at you like, you know what I mean? It's a fucking red you have a green light, and they walk across the street and look at you like, "What?" And it was like, that was every day for me then. And now in Santa Cruz with the white people, it's like, they're just I'm sorry, they're just these cultural, um, correlates that I fucking have observed.
the
Do
greatest
you see people jaywalk where you live?
where it's too small out here.
Oh,
It's
oh,
not really it's not like a city. It's if you do, everybody jaywalks out here. There's not really.
black people jaywalk on the fucking crosswalk. You know what I mean? They just go against the light, like,
Like,
"Fuck you."
yeah,
White people, they don't even use the crosswalk. They just scamper from one bush to the other in Santa Cruz, like you know what I mean? The drug addicts.
yeah, they just pop out. We see it more in the summertime, I guess, because then all the people start coming out here, and this place is really flooded with people. So some of them, like, yeah, it's like a crip walk. Shit.
And making eye contact with you. The white dude never make eye contact with you.
Oh, they just pretend like you're not there.
Yeah. The black dude looks at you like, "What? You got something to say?" I always just be like, "No, it's up. I'm good. I chill. I'm chilling." Sev on your shoulders are looking meaty. Thanks.
The greatest part about this show for me always when I first started like watching it all the way through to hear everything that you had to say was just also your chat. Your chat didn't have to agree with each other, but they would keep talking to each other, right? You didn't always agree with some of the people in your chat, but you would keep talking to each other and they would keep coming back and they would keep the discussion going and they might still keep disagreeing with you, but the conversation was still open. You were never like, "Oh no, we can't talk about this," or "Oh no, you're stupid, go away, don't ever come back. We're never going to talk about this." Your your chat could argue with each other, but they're still friends and they're still having conversations. You the same way. And there just isn't anything like that out there.
I was watching the UCLA septum ring posse and the other day on a live cam, and I was watching the chat, and I'm like, "God, this chat sucks compared to the chat on the Sevon podcast."
It's a
When you watch if you go back and watch a show, do you leave the chat open so you can look at the chat too?
Yeah, absolutely. It was one of the better learning lessons for me about how to not agree with somebody but still be able to have a conversation. You know what I mean? Like that epic fight with you and Pat Lang. Epic,
Oh, yeah.
amazing,
Yeah.
but taught me a lot of stuff about having conversations with people you disagree with for a while. You know what I mean?
That fight cost me a lot of money. He used to give a lot of money.
It just it's very cool to watch and I learned a lot from it in the beginning to now. Even now I still watch it with the chat open because it just the new players that come and go that want to jump in, chime in, how everybody responds, like It's very awesome to see, and it doesn't happen in any other place really that I've seen.
When you do shows, how is your chat? What's your chat like?
Your chat, it's your chat.
Oh, they go over it's those
That's the
people
power
over
of the
there.
Sevon podcast. Yeah, they're great. They're awesome.
Yeah. I like it when I'm not gonna lie. I like it when I watch any games broadcast, and I see this posse in there, and I'll laugh out loud at the stuff they're saying, because then I get to really enjoy their chat. I sit in my recliner
Yeah.
and I just watch them, and I'm like a proud I don't know what it is. It's like I'm just
You're a
proud.
proud dad.
Yeah, it just makes me proud. I don't know if I'm anyone's dad, but I'm makes me proud. What's this? What's a 4-star lesbian? What's a 4-star lesbian?
Oh God, Augustus. This is from the this is
No, I don't know what that means.
This
Oh,
is from-
5-star lesbian talk. I don't know what that means either.
this is from this is from the chat appreciation day I did with Jake, Jan, and Pool Boy, and I said I was a 5-star lesbian, and so they asked me.
Oh. Does that mean you never had sex with a guy?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I didn't, and they literally were like nothing. Didn't touch it. Didn't.
What's a 4? I wonder
Here we go.
4-star lesbian. Is there really something like that? Like
I don't know if it's on the internet. I don't know if you can Google it. Probably. You can probably Google it. But these were the rules when I was a kid.
Yeah, I like that. That's a cool term. That's a cool term.
So then, of course, Pool Boy asked me how many stars my wife has, and I was like, 1.
David, where are you, buddy? David Gora said I called him stupid for asking a question on the Dave Castro show. Hey, listen. Without you, I would not be me. So thank you for asking those questions. And thank you for coming back to the show. And I mean that. I hate it when I have to face with someone I called stupid. That sucks. I'm a dick. Oh, David Gora. Okay, fine. Good. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Good. And then you'll fit in perfect here if you didn't take offense. Perfect. Fit in perfect. Scott Wade, the hardest thing about coming into the show late. Jesus, look at this. This is like Jesus Christ himself. Scott Wade, the hardest thing about coming into the show late, wanting to go back and catch up, but wanting to stay live to participate in the chat. Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, what do you think about did you see yesterday Hiller posted 2 of the workouts, and then CrossFit's like, fuck it, and just posted them all.
Everything. Yeah, that was awesome.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Like, fuck
Mine
it.
as well.
All right. Yeah.
I think, didn't you guys say if you're gonna, or John said if you're gonna release it to 1, you got to release it to everybody.
Yeah.
And so maybe they listened and freaking released it. It's cool though.
Did we ever know when they were? Did they give us a date they were going to release them? Did we know the original release plan?
I didn't see one.
I didn't see one either.
Remember Spin putting one out.
Crazy.
Hiller crushed it.
I do. Because I like Dave so much, and because I have a relationship with him, part of me like not part of me, like all of me feels bad for him. And just in the sense that not like he fucked up, because who knows where, I don't know where it happened along the line, but I'm sure he has this plan, right? He's a showman. He's a entertainer. And I'm sure he had this plan of how he wanted it to unfold, like to create tension and whatnot. And now it's just all over. So part of me, like, that's the only part, like, I like it that I like it that they leaked.
Hey,
but for him, I feel bad. Like I saw the Christmas present he was going to get me, or like, when you ever been to a surprise birthday party and the person knows, but they fake like they didn't know.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah. If I know Hiller will never tell you, because he'll never get any more information. But if you knew who it was that leaked it, like if it got leaked to you through somebody and you knew who it was, would you feel a sense of obligation to tell Dave who it was?
If he asked me, yes. We have a relationship with each other where we try not to ask each other stuff. so that the other person doesn't have to lie.
Makes sense.
Do you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
makes
So,
complete
like,
sense.
I don't want him to tell me stuff that and he doesn't want me to tell him stuff that then would require us to lie to anyone else. And so we have that, boundary. That being said, I trust him with,
Yeah.
I trust him like I trust my wife almost. Like, probably, like, half I trust him half as much as I trust my wife. Oh, Joe Westerland, I'd love to be there when Dave confronts the leaker. Oh, me too. Me too.
You think he finds out who it is?
The last time there was a leak, I think someone on his Dave Castro Week in Review, someone asked, "Hey, do you guys know who the leaker is?" And I can't remember what he said. But someone will ask that again this week, I'm sure. I bet you. I wonder what's going on over there.
I see someone just confessing because it's Dave and yeah.
I
That'd be
mean,
cool.
I mean, on some level, that'll just be the end of you. Um, this is his show from 3 days ago. Oh, look at already. This is the most recent post. Look at this. Thanks for taking the time to answer our questions. I have a double for you. How do you feel about the 2 semifinal workouts being leaked? How did Hiller get the leak?
Oh, all right. Well, hopefully we'll find out soon.
Oh, shit.
And then we just gotta look for the 2 people that get fired and we'll know who it is.
I'm giving this a fucking thumbs up. He, uh, because he is very tight-mouthed, and so people do tell him a lot of stuff. Like, he's a man of he knows a lot of shit. You know?
Yeah.
And for all I know, him and Hiller have talked. You know what I mean? Like, for all maybe they've talked. Like, I know that those 2 respect each other, and I know that they could have a conversation that none of us would ever be privy to. Like, there's, people there's a dance going on, obviously. Daniel Wynn, I'll bet the leak came from some idiot hitting reply all. I liked what's his name's theory. Spin is basically saying on the show yesterday that hey, you have to start telling people so that equipment can be ordered and shipped and being moved around and fields can be set up and commentators need to be read in and just a shitload of people. A shitload of people have to know, right?
Yeah.
And
Echo bikes
so,
and air runners.
yeah. So there's that. I'm convinced this is like one big M. Night Shyamalan movie, and the big twist surprise ending is that Hiller actually works for HQ, and this is all part of the plan. Oh, that'd be awesome.
That'd be epic.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, man. Thanks for hanging out. That was really cool.
Great morning. Yeah. I'm excited to be gone again so you could do my podcast for me again.
Oh, boy. I gotta get naked boys. Hey, what is the etiquette for that anyway? I'll just do a whole chat show. I'll just make it all about the chat.
Sure. Yeah. Do whatever. I just, Johnny Carson had Joan Rivers. I just want to have someone that I feel, especially now that Sousa has his own show on Tuesdays. I was telling Sousa, I was like, yeah, what if I just had Garrett whenever I'm gone, just invite her to do the show? And I would just love that. Yeah.
Thanks.
I would just love for you to do that guy. I probably shouldn't have said that out loud because next time I'm gone and you're not here, people will be like, they're fighting.
I know.
He hates her.
What'd I do? I probably hit reply all. Now I'm fucked and I can't do your show anymore.
Look at this. Get with programming. I'll jump on and support you, Garrett. Yeah, you can pick on Chase.
Oh, yay. That'd be fire.
All right, dear. Thanks for coming on. I
Thanks.
appreciate you. Tell Colleen and the boy thanks for sharing you with me this morning.
Awesome. Had so much fun. Thanks, guys.
All right, dear. Ciao.
Bye.
Garrett Glinton. Boy, that was easy. God, I love easy. What do I do here? How do I make it so you can see the sponsors? Love you. Bye-bye. Yeah, she's great. Sevy's always mad at everyone. Fair enough. What today's Friday? I wonder if my wife is nope. Today's Friday. I'm going in the yard I fixed the boxes, the planter boxes. They're all fixed and ready for the plants. And I went to Home Depot and got some plants and a bunch of seeds. So I think my mom's coming over. Me and the boys are headed to the garden. Yeah, she has backdoor access. She actually told me after the last show that her guy needs backdoor access too. Because I gave her access to the back door, and then usually she has a guy run her back end like Caleb, and he didn't have access. So she said it kind of threw her off. That was my fault. So I recently actually just purchased a larger plan for StreamYard so I can have more people getting in the back door. Sevy, what's the largest animal you reckon you could beat in a fight? Fucking hamster. Backdoor hamster. I am going to go to a Home Depot too today and get more mulch. Sevy, what did you think of Dave in the Capitol video? It's funny knowing his history and the political stooges who have no idea. I haven't seen it yet. I need to watch it. I'll probably watch it today. Okay, here we go. Now we're talking. Matt Yenchik. You sound like a fucking foreigner. Hey, Sevy. For Kill Taylor tomorrow, can we have 3 people on one live stream doing the workout, or does that break the rules? Oh, shit. Wow. I'm going to have to consult. I think you can have 3, but I think you got to choose one. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, dude, that's a great fucking question. That is a fucking brilliant question. David Gora, see? There's a brilliant question. Or I could just be like, you dumb fuck, it can only be one, you greedy son of a bitch. Let me see if I can get Taylor on and ask him what. You know, I should really ask JR. Or should I ask Sousa? Fuck, I don't know who to ask. I need to ask someone who will give the answer I want. I think you could have 3 people on. Say mulch. I don't even know what the right word is. I think you can have 3 on. God, I don't really want to hear anyone's opinion on this besides my own. Son of a bitch. Let me see. I'll call someone. I'm gonna call JR. I just feel like that's the most sound. I feel like that's the most sound advice. Here we go. JR, hi, how are you? This is Sevon Matosian from the Sevon Podcast.
Sevon, so good to hear from you.
Thank you. Nice to hear from you too. I'm sorry to bother you in your busy day, but I know you are a bit of a connoisseur of the organized event, world. And I have a question for you. I have this show called Kill Taylor, and people compete against him. They call in and compete against him and try to beat his score. Now, some of my listeners,
Interesting.
Thank you. Some of my listeners are getting greedy, and they want to, when they call in and they get the link, they want to have 3 people compete against him at the same time with one call in. How do you feel about that?
I've been told that last week's episode was so fun because everyone got to just watch one person and pick them apart. So I don't know how I would feel about having 3 people on the screen at one time. It sounds like a party though.
Okay. So if you were to vote on it, if you were the authority on it, would you say that it's one person at a time or multiple people?
I think it depends on the people. but I'm going to go ahead and vote 3.
Wow. And all 3 have a chance of winning the money?
Correct.
All right, JR spoken. All right. Thank you, JR, for your input.
That's how confident I am in Mr. Self.
All right. All right. Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You're welcome.
Fuck. Boy, you know what's crazy? Now that he weighed in on that. Now that that's how easily I'm swayed. Like, I think I just agree with him just like that. Bam. He said it, and I'm like, yeah, of course. That's what I meant. Well, the thing is only one person, the best score that beats him gets the money. So they wouldn't have to split the money. But if you had 3 people on, although, you know, what's funny is I thought he was going to go the other way with it, right? Because he said he just liked having one person so we could just rip that one person. Kevin Doyle, JR could seduce Jesus. Wow. Wow. That's the most blasphemous thing that's ever been said on the show. My sister probably turned the show off when she heard that. Holy shit. JR could seduce Jesus. Damn. Okay. I should probably I feel like I should call Matt too. Find out what the fuck what he thinks. Matt Souza. I suspect tomorrow's show will be very workout. If it's, I saw some potential workouts. It will be very difficult to film 3 people at the same time. Very difficult. We all know Susan's going to say one person. I know. I agree. Sevy, when are you going to head and visit your sister? Never. She has to come to me. But I'm trying to get her to come out. I miss her. I like having her around.
You reach Matt. Leave a message, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Oh, we get along great. We're like it's kind of crazy. We're like 2 chatterboxes. Can you just imagine me and my sister? We just we'll sit in a room and just talk for 3 hours. It's dope. Taylor Self. Like, if I call my sister, I'm talking to her for an hour. And sometimes I'll do that like 7 days in a row. Some days I'll call her 3 times. She's just the chick version of me, kind of. She's the, I think, she has like I don't want to say she's more mature than me, but she's more adulty than me. She looks just like me. She's like just a.
Hey, this is Taylor. If you could.
My sister is very petite. She's just so is my mom. They're just like female versions of me. Just like hairless versions. Sevon, eat a box of peepees. What are peepees? I don't even know what those are. Those like hot tamales? All right. We talked about heart valves at the hospital. You guys saw that the second whistleblower at Boeing died. Crazy. This is old, but it's good. It's so good. I'm sure I've played this on the show before.
Nicer set of jugs. Elizabeth Warren or Kamala Harris?
I'll go with the white chick.
Do you go with the white titties? Why is it that you take the white gazumbas over the black titties?
Her ideology is not breast-like. actually thought I entered a time warp and went back 100 years because I could not believe somebody was asking this question.
What question?
Yeah, you said who's got the nicer titties, Elizabeth Warren or Kamala Harris?
What did you think on the answer to that question?
I don't have an answer to that question.
You had to pick between the two sets of Gazumbas.
By the question.
I know that mental illness can come in pairs.
Of titties or
Phenomena.
what were you saying about a pair?
Like that you guys are paired together in this absurd.
I'm an anti-porn activist, as a matter of fact, but you're not going to get an interview from me about the subject because I want.
What's your favorite anti-porn? Is it people's aunts?
Your mother would be very ashamed you're doing this kind of work.
Who do you think has the nicer set of jugs, Elizabeth Warren or
First of all, that black guy's completely retarded if he thinks Elizabeth Warren's tits are nicer than Kamala Harris's. There's like, just fucking insane. And I understand the absurdity of the question. I don't know. I just love that skit for so many reasons. God, it could just be broken down. Like those ladies are actually kind of cool for as stupid as they are. Like how they stay so calm and they film him and like I just wish at the end eventually they would have realized that what he's doing is so funny. So many people I think get upset. I had that UFO guy on. You remember? And like there's half the comments in there telling me that I'm a horrible interviewer. And it sucks because and I say this with peace and love, it sucks that they miss how fucking just honest and brilliant the interview is. If you have ghosts in your house, are they like they see everything? They see when you take a shit, they see when you wipe your butt, they see when you have sex with your wife, they see like and I think it's a very fair question since we don't see those things happen in public at all. Those are things that are done completely in private. That to ask like, hey, are you shy about the UFO seeing you drop a deuce or premature ejaculate when you're fucking your wife or watching porn? Like, I think it's a totally great question. But the funny part is that somehow people are offended by this question and then they think it's bad interviewing on my part because they're bothered by the question. And that's what I see here. It's like every single woman has breasts, and for some reason now it's inappropriate for him to ask who has nicer breasts based on this guy with dreadlocks opinions. And them thinking it is absurd. The only thing more absurd than the question, which is pretty absurd, is them thinking that it's absurd. There's just something wonderful about the whole thing. I just love the dynamic. So, Kevin Doyle, Joe Rogan has turned into a terrible interviewer. Every podcast revolves around the same 4 topics. That's how I feel about my show sometimes. Don't you think that's what this show is though too? Let me write down what the topics are. You guys tell me what like my topics are. I'm gonna write these down. Hold on. Boobs. I'll write them down as you say. Oh, CrossFit. You're right. CrossFit. Totally CrossFit. Black people. Hello?
Hello?
What do you think my most common topic is? Oh, vaccines. Let me see. Sorry. Dicks. Okay, dicks. I'll call it hogs. You feel free to chime
abortion?
in. Abortion. Thank you. Abortion. Oh,
Gotta throw CrossFit in there.
Yes. Yep. I got that. Trannies. Vaccines. For sure. Liberals. Pedophiles.
Standees.
Oh, standees. Standees. Someone said homelessness. I'll put that in quotes since I hate that word, but I get your point. I like that. Okay, so I get that's more. Oh, homeschooling. Oh shit! So I got a breadth of topics.
Yeah,
Okay.
you do. I mean, I'd throw parenting in there too, probably hand in hand with homeschooling.
Okay, yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, someone said it used to be heavy on Danielle. I saw this video of Danielle, by the way, the other day. She's did Goob talk about Hill? Oh shit.
No way.
Oh
You've
shit.
talked about Hillary?
Oh shit. Oh shit. You guys. Holy shit. Fucking Goob fucking took a clip from our fucking podcast. Holy shit.
Oh my gosh.
Holy shit.
That's amazing. Yep. Oh man, you made it big time now.
Hold on, caller. I'm sorry. I just gotta watch this. Holy shit.
Listening this morning. This is a CrossFit podcast called the 7 Podcast, and they put the Wuhan press, which is a lift that I invented, in a CrossFit workout. They're talking about it here. Let's see what they have to say.
The Wuhan press.
He did say he was worried about the Wuhan. Hey, did Goob invent the Wuhan press? Did Goob invent that?
No, some guy died in Wuhan, China, trying to do it, and that's how they named it.
You sound certain. I can't argue with that.
The guy got on his neck. I tried to look up technique because I didn't know if I could do it.
Oh, really? Is that really what happened? It was some guy. Is that really a true story, John?
Yeah, as far as I know, that's what I looked up and saw. That's what I Googled.
So the origin of the Wuhan press started during coronavirus. I invented it. It didn't start in China. We had a gym that was this outdoor gym called the Wuhan Training Facility. We trained in the pier every single day. And the only way I could bench press was to deadlift it into a bench press. This is the first known video of the Wuhan press happening. This was in May of 2020. This is the first time I ever tried 315, and I got it. And that was that. And yeah, I almost died. But you know what?
I almost died.
All right, guys, just the coolest thing this morning.
How fucking strong is Goob? Okay, caller, can you hear that when I play the clip? Did I lose the caller?
Yeah, I can hear that.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's how
I'm
fun.
a big Goob fan, so
me too.
That's amazing.
Hey, does he ever go too hard on for you? Like sometimes he goes so hard, I'm like, holy shit! Like I can't really take it. Like, but I still love him. But you know what I mean? Like it's my issue. But I'm just like, wow, he's going hard.
Right, it's like hard to watch. Like you want to see the bar fight, but you also don't.
Yeah,
don't want to partake.
Yeah, it's like someone needs to like. It's like a UFC fight. Like, oh, the ref should step in. I'm good.
Right.
I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's doing good stuff though. Him and Joey Swall kind of have this really good cop, bad cop thing going on.
Yeah, I agree.
Punch.
Oh shit, I don't even follow him. Oh, fuck, what a jackass I am. Well, now I do. My algorithm just knows to pop him up. Oh, he's huge. What?
Yeah,
he's got 641,000 followers.
Yeah, y'all should check the analytics tomorrow. Kind of see what kind of publicity the podcast gets because of that.
Oh yeah, good point. Fuck, I always think we look so professional, and then I saw that clip, and it's fucking amateur hour. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I didn't mean to say Jesus Christ. Cheese and crackers. How are you? What's up? Did you have anything specific, or you just wanted to hang out, or?
No, I'm good, man. I had one question for you, and I won't keep you long. That's super cool with the shout out from Goo. But I was just gonna ask if you had a multivitamin that you'd recommend, because I feel like you know a lot about this kind of stuff, and it's such a crazy, saturated, messy, complex world. And I don't know, maybe some people say multivitamins are like a myth, and
yeah, what do you want it for?
Like,
I don't have one.
I only eat salmon, sourdough, and eggs, and I just feel like I'm missing out on a lot of micronutrients. So
salmon, sourdough, and eggs. That's really all you eat, those three things?
Yeah. For 4 months now. Eventually I'd like to be adding more stuff in. But I think I need a multivitamin.
What about finding something what about eating some organ meat? God, that sounds disgusting. What about organ meat?
Yeah, I've done liver. I probably need to go back to that. I hate the taste, but that would probably be really good. So you'd recommend something like that as opposed to like the easy pill option.
I for a long time I was taking those when I was fasting a shitload. I was taking that stuff that the Liver King had and that Paul Saladino had, and I actually did notice.
Ancestral supplement.
Yeah, and I actually did notice I felt significantly better, like very quickly. But
There's
then I
definitely
stopped,
work.
and I never missed it. And I used to take a shitload of vitamin C when I was sick, but I don't even do that anymore. I've really just moved away for some reason. I'm trying to think if there's anything. I don't really swallow any pills anymore. My wife takes all sorts of fucking weird pills.
I know that the ancestral supplements work because I was taking an immune suppressant, and anytime I took the ancestral supplements, the immune suppressant didn't work. So I figured, I was like, well, these are definitely doing something. But
Wait,
yeah.
explain that to me again. What were you do? What is that? Is that a bad thing or a good thing?
It's a good thing. It means the pills were working because they were counteracting the immune suppressant,
Oh, okay. What's an immune suppressant?
like Humira or whatever.
Like what?
Humira, the medication.
Oh,
There's different immune suppressants. Just when your body's attacking itself, sometimes you need to take something that
you take
suppresses
those?
your immune system.
You take those?
I'm transitioning off of them currently, so I'm taking steroids and trying to move off of Humira.
Steroids like the kind Andrew takes?
No. They can help for a short amount of time, just as I'm finding a different medication. But as I'm moving off of Humira, I was just looking at multivitamins and
What have you been?
you're very
What have you? Can
knowledgeable
you
and-
tell me what you were diagnosed with, or is this making you uncomfortable?
No, I'm not too uncomfortable. Just Crohn's disease.
Crohn's disease, and that's why you keep your diet really simple. That's why you're on eggs, salmon, and sourdough.
Yeah, that's my I do great when I do that. You know, crushed ice, some lemon juice, kind of have all I need.
What's your body look like? Are you really lean?
Yeah, I've lost a lot of weight. Really leaning out. I think I probably look the best I ever have, for sure. But you know, it'd be really great to join the family on pizza night. So
Do you have a girlfriend?
A wife, yeah.
Oh, what does she say about? Does she like your body?
Yeah. I mean, she's come up a couple times and like grabbed my shoulders or my stomach, you know, and she's made some comments. So I mean, I enjoy the extra attention for sure.
Yeah, all right. Salmon, eggs, and sourdough. Why sourdough? Just so you don't get too skinny?
It's a binding, but no, it's a binder. So like some people will take clay. There's this different clay that you can mix in with shakes and
Oh, like a binder, like for your shit, so you don't piss out your ass, like that kind of binder. Oh shit. Okay. Sorry, I'm slow.
Yeah.
I got it. Okay, I like it.
No, you're good, man. So my wife's the boss, so she'll make you know, sourdough. She likes it.
Do you live in California?
No.
Oh, you know, Dave Castro his wife makes crazy sourdough. If you can find her Instagram account, and I think she sells it.
Oh, that's awesome.
It sounded like your wife makes it too, and she.
Yeah.
I'm gonna screw this up, but she doesn't like buy the flour. She makes the flour. Like she gets like the millet or the oats or whatever the fuck.
Okay.
And she the whole thing is from crazy scratch. She does everything but grow the wheat. And it's all organic and sourced, and it's a trip. But whenever she sends bread to the house, it's like
awesome.
it's gone in a second. My whole family goes crazy. But I think you can buy it. I think my wife buys it from her and sends as gifts to people. I don't know his wife's account. I forget. It's like, fuck. I probably
she's hard to find. I can't. I don't know, but I'll try and find it.
There's no sign of her as being Dave's wife. Let me see if I just type in sourdough.
I googled Dave Castro sourdough, and a lot of great results. If you ever look that. I appreciate that, man. I'll check out. I'll try and find it. I won't take up too much more time. So
All right.
Multivitamin wise, though, you'd say like, hey, liver, animal organs.
Yeah, I would just figure out. Yeah, I think just from the people we've had on the show, I think it's important to eat like fat from from red meat and organs. I think for some reason those are my recollection is where all the healthy shit is.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool.
All right. Thanks, dude.
All right. Well, yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
See ya.
Oh, maybe it is Gypsy Baker. Maybe it is Gypsy Baker. Good call. Gypsy Baker. God, I don't even know. My wife would know. I don't think this is hers. Gypsy Baker USA. Let me see if I just type in the Gypsy Baker. Oh, this must be it because it says my wife follows it. Yeah, this is it. I don't know if I'm supposed to share this. Fuck it. Here we go. I'm telling you, it is crazy. And she makes those designs on the bread. It's nuts. My kids go crazy. She makes all this. If you go to Dave's house, you can see the kitchen. It's like she got like a legit professional kitchen where she look at that's the if you love my bread and don't want to miss my bake days but keep missing my menu on my story, I can text you notifications. Just DM me, I'll put you on the list. So those bags, oh no, those are seeds. Never mind. Let's see what this is. Oh man, it's crazy going to his house. If you ever get a chance, so here it is. Here's one of the machines. This week's freshly milled grain selection is, I don't know what that means. This ancient grain is known for its nutty flavor and high protein content. House milled whole grain is part of what sets my artisan sourdough apart from the factory made store bought bread. The next day is, yeah, it's crazy. There's so much good food at his house. I don't know how he's not fat. Yeah, anyway, there it is. I don't know if you can, if you don't live driving distance to her. I think that there's CrossFit gyms in this area that you can order through them, and then she drives by and just drops the bag off at the gym. I think that's how it works. I'm not sure though, actually. When's the workout leaking for Taylor Self versus the world? That's a good question too. I don't know when that is. I don't know when that is. Let me see. The Real 7 pot. Maybe they've leaked it already. No. Oh, Graciano Rubio made. Oh, what is this? Graciano Rubio made it onto the. Did it? Wow. Wow, he makes that look easy. Jeez Louise. Dang. I want to see his Wuhan press. This is Graciano Rubio. He's close to me too. He's like, I think I can get to his house in an hour. Oh, damn. I wanted to see him pick it off the ground. All right. So this is a legit workout. Damn. Good job. That's cool. Yeah, we're all in on Kill Taylor. Tomorrow's show is going to be crazy. This week has been the slowest week of my entire life because I'm just so excited for tomorrow. Oh, please. Oh, please. If Taylor gets beat by a teen, would you double the pot? What planet do you live on, dude? No one's beating him. Fucking pipe down. Teen. Yeah, if a girl beats him, we're going to quadruple it. No girl or teen is beating him. There's only like 2 people in the world who can beat him. We don't even know who they are yet. Tell me someone's going to beat him. You out of your mind? This pot's going to go to like $3 million. Hey, so the show will be on Netflix soon, and the prize will be $10,000, and it will roll over every week. So in 3 weeks, it'll be $30,000. In a month, it'll be $40,000. In 4 months, it'll be $120,000. What if a transgender beats him? That'd be awesome. Bernie Gannon weighing in on the Graciano movement standards. He says no penalties for him. Graciano meets the standards. Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Bernie Gannon. Always good. What if they identify as a teen girl? You're out of your mind. Get off the drugs. Okay. So I think we're going to do a CrossFit Games update show tonight. I think I got John Young and Pedro on the hook. I'll try to get Hiller. Try to get whoever wants to come on, and we're just going to shoot the shit and just, I guess, talk about the workouts. Maybe we'll pull up the leaderboard and just tell you straight up. We'll find out if Taylor's actually going to make it to semifinals. I mean, to the games. Yeah, tonight we can tell you. Can I sign up for a yoga class at 12 noon? Yeah, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Texting my wife. Fuck yeah. Oh, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Wow. Okay. No Hiller. Sounds like Hiller's has a filming gig tonight. All right. Thanks, guys. There'll be another show today. I just don't know when. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Don't forget, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow. We'll go live on the Sevon podcast. Sousa will rally up the troops. Ryan, thank you. Good to see you. On behalf of Matuthian, Tooth Powder over at Doc Spartan, bye-bye.